Good evening, I'm Josh Hilkeman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services. 6 new members of the Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame were inducted today at a ceremony inside of East Memorial Stadium. Football player Ndamukong Suh, women's basketball player Jordan Hooper, gymnast Emily Wong, tennis player Mary Weatherholt, volleyball player Virginia Stair, and track and field athlete Carl Myers-Co were the 6 inductees. A big day in college football is coming up tomorrow, but there are also a handful of games to note tonight. Coming up at 6:30, Houston is on the road against TCU. At 8 o'clock, Michigan State will square off with number 6 Oregon. Also an 8 o'clock kickoff between number 25 ranked UNLV and Syracuse. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Dillon goes shotgun. In motion, Banks back. Back to throw is Dillon. Has some time. Seth throws to the back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Nebraska. He finds Jamal Banks for 6 points. Huskers have the lead in West Lafayette. 2nd and 6. Under center's Dillon. Barney rotates. Gets the handoff in the jet motion to 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ja'Cory Barney around the left edge. And Nebraska scores on the 3rd straight possession and lead it 20-3.
To the right side, Famalina, great up by Lexi Rodriguez. Huskers own it, bump over to the left. Harper over the triple block, in, cross court and in. Sharp angle, she avoided 6 hands. We're tied at 18 in Lincoln, and they love it. Back right, past Kate Riley, the set behind, Anna Dotson tip, block back, chase down, Huskers win. 25-22, set for Andy Jackson. The finishing touches.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And good evening, a Friday night, homecoming Friday night, and the eve of another Husker football game. It will be game number 5 at home for the Big Red tomorrow as they get set to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Glad you've chosen to spend a few minutes with us here tonight. We're going to have some fun over the next couple of hours. A lot of the big dog coming your way in the next 2 hours. You don't mind that, though, right, folks? We're going to hear a little bit of his sideline slice, right? We always like to hear from him.
Hopefully, we've got some big dog fans listening because you're going to hear a heavy dose of Jeremiah Searles.
Yeah,
well,
not,
you know,
sorry.
it's about time because he missed last week. He was out hunting, so he had to step it up this week.
Where he came up empty once again.
Once again.
So, and all that. But big game tomorrow. We've talked about it throughout the week that this is a really sizable game for the Cornhuskers who come in at 4-1. 1-1 in the league. They're going to play an undefeated Rutgers team that's 4-0, only 1-0 in the league. They've only played one league game. That was their victory over Washington last week. I was around some of the guys yesterday a little bit. I think they get it, Jess. I think they know this is a really big football game on tap tomorrow afternoon.
Absolutely. I was thinking the same thing, and even just throughout the week, it seems like it's gotten more and more, I guess, intense a little bit, and they're not changing their approach, but you get the sense of how locked in they are, how big they know that it is, and you know they know that each week is really important, and they focus on 1-0. But this is a big one, and the last time you're going to be at home till November, and so which is crazy to think about. And you got some challenging games ahead. So I think going back to the games that they've played so far, and even coming off the road game at Purdue, I think this team has continued to learn a lot about themselves and some of the things that they can apply. And so now that they are fully aware of what teams are going to try to do to the offense, the defense knows how they can better combat that defensively, and just the things that they needed to continue to be a work in progress on. They're never satisfied, but you definitely get the sense that they need to put some things together and definitely be an improved football team on Saturday against this Rutgers team, because it's absolutely going to be a battle. You got a feeling that this is going to be a pretty hard-fought one.
Well, the one thing you want to start doing is defending your home turf. Well, we dropped the Illinois game, so you do not want to lose back-to-back home games. You want to get to the point where teams kind of fear coming here a little bit to play. Well, that's not the case right now, and so you need to make a stand. And I think tomorrow's one of those games where you can sit there and go, no no, this is our game. We're at home. We're the home team. We're favored in this football game. We believe we have top to bottom more talent than Rutgers. We need to get it done. I think we're kind of to that point with this program in year 2 with Coach Rural that it's time to kind of draw that line and go, okay, you're not crossing that anymore. We're done with that. We're going to win home football games.
Yeah, and you heard Terrence Knighton say the other day on the radio show about how much that loss hurt them, the loss to Illinois. And in the past, it might not have been as devastating. And while you don't hang your hat on, that's going to ruin the whole season, because they said it at the time, there's a lot to play for, but it just was a different feel coming off that loss. And to your point about they were hurt by that. They were not happy that they dropped that one, that they dropped it at home. And, for as much as they enjoy running out there in front of Husker Nation, means a lot to them. So, I think they want to get it right. They did not like that feeling. And it's crazy how that starts to change, Greg, when you start winning, and then when you lose it, you don't like it as much, so that winning it's addicting and it's contagious. And so the more you can win, the more. And so then when that loss comes, boy, they just did not like it very much. So I think they're pretty motivated to get back in the win column at home. And I think that's the mindset that they want to start absolutely instilling, is that you're not going to come in here and beat us here. Or you're absolutely not. And Coach Rule also said this week that for some teams that might be a little bit intimidated by the atmosphere, Rutgers won't be one of them. So they've got to, take care of business and make sure that they're doing their job. I think that's what I heard the last time here at home during the Illinois game a lot on the sideline, is do your job. I think for a team that, especially defensively, that they've been so good at that, maybe they didn't do as well at times in that Illinois game. So, don't do more than you need to, but just go take care of what you need to take care of. And a lot of times that will, the scoreboard will be the right way if you do that.
Last 2 times these 2 teams have played, it's been in Piscataway. Rutgers has not been to Lincoln since 2017. So 7 years since the Scarlet Knights have played in Lincoln. So tomorrow, 3 o'clock, we'll change that and get that kicked over. I'm anxious to see the running back rotation tomorrow. Emmett really did such a good job in the second half last week, and I think he kind of earned some more playing time. Let's see if the coaches agree with that. I just think he gives us a little extra. I think DB's kind of on that train a little bit. You love Dante. I think Dante will start, because you heard Matt Rule earlier in the week say, well, we like to kind of hammer at guys, loosen the defense up a little bit, and then let our quicker guys go in the second half. But I really hope Emmett gets more shots. One, I'm a big fan of him. Yeah. But 2, I think he adds a little wrinkle to our offense.
Well, and then we've seen how good he is when he can get involved in the pass game too, just those short passes to the outside. And you're right on the vision. We've heard that a lot about Emmett really this season, and he's talked a lot about that. I asked him that, what game was it? And he had said just how different he can see things now out there compared to this time a year ago when he was thrown to the fire, just how much he's grown mentally and the things that he can see open up. And so I think he sees it a little bit differently. And that just takes experience, and the way that he can see how he can take advantage of certain things in the defense and where the holes might come. And he's patient, and so, yeah, we're all big fans of Emmett Johnson. I think he's so versatile that you can do some things with him that if the running game isn't completely just opening up, that you can maybe loosen it up with him in different ways. But yeah, look, it's going to continue to be a dose of really everybody, right? I mean, we saw even Gabe Irvin come into the game too, and you're still going to see Ramir involved. But I think the 1-2 punch of Dante and Ramir, you're going to still see a lot of throughout the game, and also depending on the matchups. But certainly I think Emmett has earned his opportunities, and I don't think they'll be going away from him anytime soon.
All right, lots of activities going on right outside of our studio. You got the Cornstalk Festival going on around homecoming. Also earlier today, Jess, you were involved in the Hall of Fame ceremony, where you had a chance to sit down and talk to our Hall of Famers that we did get a chance to talk to over the summer during Sports Night. But how was that? Give me a couple of highlights of that session.
Well, I think, first of all, when we talked to them in the summer, they've got the news, but a lot of times they're wherever they are, right? And then, so for the few of them that come back, this Carl Myersco, by the way, for example, he hadn't been here in 13 years. So just, he had talked about, it's it's homecoming weekend. This is like a coming home for me, and I just think for some of them that don't live in state, that maybe moved away, when they're here, it just hits them a little bit differently when they go through the ceremony. So I think just their appreciation. Virginia Stair, the volleyball athlete that played in the 80s and that was just such a huge part of helping to lay the foundation, I was just blown away with her. She was talking about how they would have to put the court together before games, before matches, that they had to, just how different playing sports were for women back then when it was still just really getting going. And so they would have to build the court before they played. Wow. And she said that when she first started, her grandpa would come and he was sitting up there and he'd be the only one up there in the stands. And then with each year that she played, it was like she would lose him in the crowd because he got more and more surrounded by the fans as the fan base grew. So I thought that was really neat. And she talked about how the whole, her team, they came back for the match, the volleyball day in Nebraska last year, and they were just crying. They were just so emotional, overcome with emotion because of where it was when they were starting and then to where it is now. It just, she's like, I just don't know if I could express the gratitude that I feel that to have had that opportunity. And then it just continues to grow with each year that you see this team do those big things. And so, yeah. And then Ndamukong Suh being back was always great. And he was just so, every question that he asked, he wanted to go back to his teammates and thanking the people around him. And you can also tell for him how much it meant for him to be a Nebraska student athlete. And I think that's the big thing that you learn about this class. You hear about their tremendous accolades and the things that they did as athletes, but then you sit back and really think about the things that some of them were able to do as students, as the student part of the athlete. And it's just really, really incredible. And it speaks to just the Keith Zimmer and Dennis LeBlanc and just what's been in place here for so long and the success that they've been able to achieve outside of sports. And I mean, there were 2 NCAA top 10 award winners in this class. That's so hard to do. And it's honoring, both the community service, the academics, and the athletics. And there's just, to find those well-rounded athletes, that is not an easy award to win. And there were 2 in this class today. So it just is really, you get so caught up in these teams, but then you have a ceremony like this, and then you think about all the incredible student athletes that have come here before and the achievements that they were able to earn. And, Emily Wong, too, I didn't know a lot about her before this, and she's the only Husker to win regional titles on all 4 events. You know how hard that is, too, to be so good at all 4 apparatuses in gymnastics. It just so I could go on and on. They were all what a class. This was an incredible class this year.
And we mentioned it during the summer that a group of them kind of were here at the same time with Ndamukong, Meriwether Holt, Emily, and Jordan Hooper. They were all right in that same era. Virginia was back in the 80s, as you mentioned. But that was, a time where we were making that transition from the Big 12 to the Big 10. So some of those athletes had a chance to compete in both different conferences, which was unique for them and something that they can lay claim to for the rest of their life. But, yeah, you're right. Top 10 awards, those don't hang on trees. Those are really hard to get, and to have 2 of this class have that is remarkable stuff. That group will all be honored tomorrow at the game, and I'm sure there were a lot of smiles, and I hope they all brought family members back too, Jess, because they should revel in this weekend, and they all deserve so much of this.
Yeah, it was funny. I asked Mary about her reaction when she found out that she was going into the Hall of Fame. She was like, well, she was pregnant, and she's like, well, I'm a mom now, and at least I won't be pregnant by then, and I can bring them back. So it was kind of funny there. And, I think that's another thing, too, once you leave and then you come back and then you're able to bring your kids back. We hear Jeremiah talk about that all the time. And when he took his daughter to her first game a couple weeks ago, he was like, I was a little emotional, just seeing how happy she was to be here. And so now you're instilling kind of a different love into these kids. And so a lot of them have their kids and are there and, are able to be a part of it. I think that makes it even more special for these incredible athletes that were, just made such a huge mark here at Nebraska. And Jordan Hooper is great. I've talked to her so many times now over the last year because she continues to be honored with some incredible things, and had her jersey retired, and then now in the Hall of Fame. And I didn't realize she's so funny and goofy, and she was like, take it easy on me. But just also great people too. As we've gotten to know them a little bit, we all did here. When we chat with them in the summer, And so then just to be able to see them in person, and it's just a neat experience. And each year you're just really blown away by the amount of talent that has come through here in Lincoln.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff. So hopefully some current athletes had a chance to kind of sit in on that.
They were.
A lot of times wrestlers will come or the gymnasts will come and support their sport. I hope that happened.
Well, there were a lot of the teams there, and the Allison Widener and Alexis Markowski both were big fans of Jordan Hooper, and Alexis is now chasing so many of Jordan's records, and she's going to break most of them, I think. But for them to get to be there, and then I saw Carl Myerscough was talking to some of the throwers that were there, which was cool, and Coach St. Clair. And so, I think that's also really important, that when those teams are honored, the tennis team was there, the gymnastics team was there, the track and field team was there. So these teams, these programs, I know it's a big priority for them when they have one of their own inducted, they come and they support, and then you get to see them interact. It's awesome too, because then they're such proud alumni. Then they're so proud of where the programs continue to go and be. And so it's just, it's neat to see them interact. And I know it looked like the track athletes were really hanging on every word Carl was saying. Maybe some of it was the British accent. Yeah, some of it was his accent, but some of it too, I gotta imagine, was just how great of an athlete he was too, and just the words of wisdom that he has.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Allison and Alexa, because the event down the rail yard's about ready to get underway. It's kind of the opening night for Husker hoops, men and women. They've got the court set up down there in Canopy Street. It's going to be a nice night, a little breezy, but hey, we'll take this. There's no rain, free admission. Go on down there if you want to pop down there. They're going to have 3-point shooting contests. They're going to introduce the teams. Good way to kind of launch the start of the basketball season. We're about 4 weeks away from that thing's tipping off. So caught a break on the weather for this tonight. That'll be fun down there. So just all kinds of things happening around Lincoln. I kind of like this. Is kind of cool. Love all this. Now we just need to win tomorrow.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. I mean, the parking lots there's a carnival or something going on behind us.
Cornstalk. That's Cornstalk.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. The Haymarket, I've been down there a couple different times on a Friday night this season, and it's been pretty hopping. So should be a fun little deal and something different. Well, they've been doing it in Pinnacle Bank Arena the Friday night, opening night, but this will be a neat experience. I should probably go make sure I get my tennis shoes on. Maybe I could sign up for the 3-point contest, Greg.
There you go. Show them something. Show them a thing or two, would you?
Haven't touched a basketball too long, or I totally would.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, great show coming up. Going to hear a little bit from the Sideline Slice. It was recorded earlier this week with Jeremiah Searles. We'll have that hour 2. Hey, you got to hang around for picks, folks. Hour 2, we'll see how we do. We all had a great week last week. I'll just give away that little spoiler alert. Hopefully we can do match that tonight. And we'll keep an eye on the college football scoreboard. I know it's not till 8 o'clock. Michigan State and Oregon play out west on that for this evening. All right, we have a lot more sports on, including the Slice, coming up next.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Attention, Husker Nation. Are you ready to power up your game? Sapp Brothers bleeds Husker Red, and our high-quality off-road red diesel is the fuel that powers your equipment. As official sponsors of the Huskers, we're here with a touchdown offer with the Sapp Brothers Go Big Red Fuel Giveaway. Contract your upcoming fuel needs by February 1st and enter to win 1,000 free gallons of our off-road red diesel. Keep your engines roaring and your equipment running strong. With this winning opportunity, Sapp Brothers fuels Husker Nation. Visit sappbros.net/fuel giveaway for more info.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
From family road trips and a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every wheel, every field, not wheel, every field. Yeah, there we go. Jeremiah Searles. Well, we've had so much fun down through the years talking to him and having his podcast, his weekly podcast during the football season, Sideline Slice with Searles. He's back from vacation, back to jump into this Husker football season full barrel. He and Jess talked about a lot of things earlier in the week. Here's part of that podcast.
Welcome back into the Sideline Slice, and welcome back, Jeremiah Searles. You had the week off last week, went a little elk hunting, and the people want to know, how did you do? Did you get one?
I did not, unfortunately, get one.
Again?
Again, I know. I had moments. I almost sealed the deal Sunday night. I had a big bull coming in, and he was closing, and then like 200 yards over in another draw, some monster bull just lets off this monster bugle and scared the other one away, and then he wouldn't come out. So it was frustrating, but Dad shot one at 31 yards, which was awesome to see him get one. And then he also shot a mule deer. So Dad was the killer of the group. He's still taking me to school every single year.
I was going to say, it seems like every year we come back and you come back from this hunting trip and your dad's got one and you haven't.
It's
you should
crazy.
Maybe learn more from your dad.
He's the elk whisperer. I mean, he literally shot his out of serendipity. He was setting up to call for me at 5 o'clock in the evening, and he sat down on a stump for our 5 o'clock radio check. He was like, "Oh, this looks like a good stump to sit on at 4:57." He sat down, and then he's like, "Oh, that's an elk." Walked right in front of him at 31 yards, and he just crushed it. Like, it was, we did radio check, like, "Hey, all clear here, all clear." He's like, "Hey, bull down over here." Like, what? Like, unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, he's the elk whisperer. It's crazy.
And you and the family like to eat the meat, and the kids.
Yeah, so
the kids
Dad
are big
sent
fans,
me home.
Right?
Yeah. Dad knows that his mom and him can't eat a whole elk or anything, so he took the best part. He took the back straps and then sent me home with the whole elk. So, and the deer. And so I actually butchered up the deer in the kitchen this morning, and then I got to go back upstairs this evening, and finish up the elk. So we do all our own processing. We cut it all up, do the roast, the grinding, the whole bit. So
what's the first recipe then you're going to make with it?
Oh, I love doing elk burgers. Elk burgers is one, like, my wife makes a mean roast. She makes a great elk roast in the crock pot, or I throw it on the smoker. But elk burgers with one egg and some breadcrumbs in there to hold it together with pure elk, it's power food.
Nice.
No, you don't eat meat. Never mind. I was like, I'll bring you some.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll try it.
It's clean. It's clean. I promise. I handled it from death to door.
Meat?
Death to door. It's with you.
Is elk considered red meat?
Yes, very much so.
Well, I don't eat red meat, so.
I know. That's why I stopped myself.
Okay, well, let's talk some football. Huskers get back in the win column, and a little bit of an odd first half. Really felt like Nebraska dominated the game, but it was 0-0 at the half. But find a way to win it 28-10 on the road, and get back in the win column. Just your take on watching the game and big positives that you took away from that one.
Yeah, the first half was just so confusing to watch. You're watching us move the ball up and down the field and then not putting it in the end zone, and then botched snaps and not good kicks. And, you're just sitting there going, man, don't let this team hang around. It's not even close that we're the better team on the field right now. Like, it was so apparent on all two phases. The special teams wasn't much, but you're just going, okay, boys, don't do this, because you've been a part of it, and I've been a part of it, of going, if you let teams hang around, bad things can happen. And that was kind of how I felt going into half. Like, we've given these guys some life. But to watch us come out in the second half and to put 28 points on the board and to take the football away and to be very efficient in the run game and make big passes, like, that was where I was like, okay, we can still not play great football and not fall apart as a football team. And that's a step in a really big direction as a culture of this football team that needed to happen.
Yeah, and we heard Coach Rule saying after the game, and then even the players had the kind of messaging too that, hey, we're being told we can't win these close games, and here it is 0-0 and we find a way. And to me, I thought it was good too. I mean, for as good as this team and as really explosive as they've been in first halves of games so far, that they found a way to get it going in the second half. I mean, they we're moving the ball, but you kind of put it all together more so in the second half. I think that's important, to put together a good second half, and you can build off of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I find myself falling into this trap too, as most as Husker Nation does. I mean, tell me at the beginning of the year where all of us are like, man, 6-7 wins would be awesome, right? Like, step in the right direction, showing growth in the second half, second year Matt Rule. And then we get off to the hard start and everyone's like, why aren't we 7-0? Right. And I find myself into that too. Like, we're good enough to be 7-0, or we're good enough to find or be like, we're going to be 7-0 going into Ohio State, or whatever it might be. And we stumbled along the way. Let's not pretend that we're not still a young program developing under a new head coach. Right. And so to see the growth from the loss to this week, bouncing back and struggling in the first half and bouncing and dominating a second half, that's just reconfirming and reaffirming everything that I need to know about Coach Rule and what this program's about and how they're continuing step by step, day by day to keep pushing in the right direction, and how one loss isn't going to derail that whole thing. Right, one overtime loss is not going to be the derailment of an entire season, when it easily can be a turning point for a season in a bad way. But seeing the way that this team responded and coming out last week, finding a way to win a game that was 0-0 at half and throwing a 28-burger and a half, I love that. It just, all arrows are trending in the right direction for me.
Well, since we've recorded a podcast together, Turner Corcoran goes down, out for a significant amount of time. Gunnar Gatula comes in, plays against Illinois, and then makes his first start at Purdue. And I love that Coach Rule was getting asked all these questions in the post game, and he goes, "You guys aren't even asking me about Gunnar Gatula." To me, it's a great thing that no one even noticed him, that it was his first start and he held his own out there. What did you think of Gunnar and his first start?
Yeah, I paid a really close attention to him, and I think his pass protection was immaculate.
Wow.
I mean, for a young player to go out on the road, and I know I've played at Purdue. It's not what I would refer to as a hostile environment. But to still go out on the road and I don't think he jumped off. Did he jump off sides?
No,
I can't
it was
remember
Ben
who
Hart.
It was Ben Hart, right? Yeah, so not to jump off sides, to be technically sound. I mean, it just speaks a lot to Coach Raiola and his ability to develop and to have guys ready, even as young players. Because we talked about it on the Week 0 podcast. Eventually, we're going to need some of these young guys, right? They're going to need to come in, and it's why those early games was so important to get some reps, right? So that his first reps weren't against Illinois, and his first reps weren't his first start at Purdue. He's played in some meaningful games, and I thought overall he was a really bright spot at the left tackle spot for me, and I'm excited to see how he continues to grow.
Okay, and then, in the run game, I know that's something that Coach Rule's addressed. We want to be able to run the football, but hey, they found a way to get it going in the second half. And how about the 1-2 punch of Emmett Johnson and Dante Dowdell, two of your favorites? And what does that provide a team when you have just maybe those two kind of completely different running styles and what they can provide for an offense?
Yeah, I love it. Watching the Lions game, Detroit Lions game last night, and they kind of have that 1-2 punch of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Very similar in the way that I look at Dowdell and Emmett Johnson. One's the bell cow coming downhill, you better buckle your chin strap or your helmet's coming off. And the other one's going to press to the edge, stop on a dime, and come back inside and take the distance with speed. And when you have that multiple 1-2 punch, it really keeps the defense on their heels on what are we expecting, what are we going to go, and then, oh, by the way, we have a quarterback that can play action and throw it really deep. And so I do still want more out of our run game. I want to see us be a more dominant run football team to set up the pass, where I feel it's been a little bit of pass to set up the run. And it's been working, but I do think that for long-term success in a long season, the teams that have better run games come November are usually the teams that are stacking wins in November, heading for conference championships and now a playoff spot. And I would love for us to get to that point, and Rule knows it. He played 1 year in the Big Ten and understood it. It's just got to keep continuing to go. But relying on those two backs back there and still having guys like Rahmir Johnson and Gabe Ervin back there as well is just such a luxury to have, and we just have to continue to utilize those guys more and more in the run game.
How about, Dylan Riley, you've protected a bunch of different quarterbacks, and his ability to identify and see when he can maybe take advantage of some pass interference calls. How special is that as a freshman for him to be able to recognize that and then be able to take advantage of it and put this offense in some good positions?
Yeah, it's next level type of thinking. To see a corner that is out of position and know that, hey, if I throw this ball on a back shoulder fade or I give it a high point for a guy like Nair to go up and get it, if this corner's out of position, he's not going to be able to get his head around, and maybe Nair catches it, and if worst case scenario, he's going to be face guarding him and into his body, and it's going to be a 15-yard PI. And that is the fact that he's 18 years old and processing information like that at real-time speed is incredible. Now, I will say there are times when I see him back there backing up a little bit too far, like he's playing NCAA. Like, step up into the pocket and zip that thing in there a little bit instead of kind of backing up and fading away into it. That's a little bit of the progression that I would like to see out of him as a thrower. But his mental recognition is phenomenal, and I'm really excited for the future for him, obviously. I mean, every game I'm just going, how does he make some of these throws as an 18-year-old kid?
How about the defense? I feel like they were improved and put a better performance on tape than maybe the last time we saw them out there?
Yeah, I think that it was definitely more of a complete game from the defense, overall, and obviously getting the big pick six at the end by Bullock is huge to help us in the turnover margin column. But I would like us to start being able to generate a little bit more of a pass rush on early downs, right? If it's first and second down and they want to throw the football, it seems like that quarterback's got a little bit too much time to sit in that pocket and go. And, looking for guys like Williams and MJ Sherman and Jamari Butler and Ty to win a couple of those one-on-one matchups on first and second down to allow us to get into our third down pass rush sets with our smaller bodies and with our blitz schemes that Tony White has. That was really the one thing from defense that I looked at of, hey, let's generate a little bit more pass rush. But I thought the run game, I thought they did a great job. They were moving guys around. I mean, there was times I'm watching Nash loop out to the A gap, and here comes MJ Sherman into the B gap, and then all of a sudden this guy's looping out to the C gap, and you're like, how are you? This is hard to follow as a watcher. I couldn't imagine it being an offensive lineman out there against it. So love the scheme, love the way they're doing things, and I think that it was a nice bounce back week for them.
So Nebraska, the Black Shirts are one of just 7 teams in college football that have not allowed a rushing touchdown this season. They've continued to be one of the best teams, rushing defenses in college football. They were last year, they are this year. What is it about this front that is so hard to run the ball against?
Ty and Nash. I mean, that's the number one thing. I mean, you can have schemes all the live long days. And coaches say it all the time. It's not about the X's and O's. It's the Jimmies and the Joes. And we got a Jimmy and a Joe in there, and Ty and Nash Hutmaker that just eat bodies. I mean, they just eat up double teams that allows our linebacking core to get downhill and to make negative plays and to meet running backs in the holes. And if you can't appreciate the dirty work that those two guys do in the middle, you won't understand why this defense is being so good, because that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. That doesn't show up in the highlights. It doesn't show up at all. All it does is show up on Sunday morning when they're sitting in the cold tub because they're so dang sore. But those two guys on the interior do such a great job of plugging up those offensive linemen, not allowing them to climb up on the linebackers and the DBs. That allows them to shoot their guns and go get it. Those two guys are doing phenomenal in the run game.
Okay, so obviously one of the issues last week against Purdue was the field goal unit, and missed a field goal, then had a couple of bad snaps. They switched the snapper, into the game, and they've made changes there throughout the season. You've blocked next to snappers, right? I mean, how do you fix that when they're saying that it's been good in practice? The field goal or the extra point, that unit hasn't had any issues. So I guess how do you fix the issues with the snapping and the field goal unit, at this point in the season?
I think it's really just making a change. You can only look at things so often and go, how many more times do I have to look at this before it's my fault for putting a guy out there and putting the team at risk? And so sometimes you just have to make a change and see what happens. And obviously with the change they made at the snapper position, it worked out better. But I've seen the snapping being an issue since week 1.
Yeah, no, I think both snappers have had issues.
Both snappers have had issues since week 1. Right? I mean, the blocked kick against Colorado was because of a poor snap, right? A couple of these missed kicks, I don't think you can put on the kicker because the timing is off, because it's a high snap, a low snap, and the kicker's in a hitch and is giddy up. All of it starts with the ball coming from the snapper, and it's nothing you really think about until it's a problem. Right? No casual fan watches an extra point and goes, man, I hope this snap gets there on time. Right? Like, it's always about, is this kicker lined up or whatever it is. But you have to make sure that everything functions properly. The operation, as we refer to it, the operation of the snap, hold, kick has to be flawless. It has to be flawless. It has to be as simple as breathing for those guys in order to make it easy, because if that's an issue, and then you add the high pressure situation of a kick in a live game, that's when things start to go awry. So it's just going to continue to do more and more reps, continuing to find the right rotation and the right bodies that can operate on a high level week in and week out.
That's not all of it. There's quite a bit more. And so go where you find your podcasts, where the Husker podcasts are located. You'll be able to listen to all of that with Jeremiah, get you all primed and pumped, ready for that game with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights tomorrow. Folks, Woodhouse, they have been your trusted auto partner in every day since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back with more Sports Nightly. In fact, we'll open up the text lines at least for you tonight, 402-413-2400. Anything you have on your mind, any keys you think for tomorrow's game with Rutgers, we can discuss that coming up next.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
The all-new 2025 Subaru Forester is the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. More distinctive style, more advanced safety technology, and always the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. The all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Love begins with trust. Visit Duteau Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at duteausubaru.com.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24-monthly bill credits, eligible to trade in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credits stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
We're back, Sports Nightly Friday night. Boy, it's popping outside the studio. You got the Cornchella, the homecoming thing going on. They've got a lot of people that are milling around. The parade made its way by the loop a little bit ago. It's fun week, homecoming activities. Last year, homecoming, and I might have my date wrong, it was the last Saturday of October, Purdue, and it was lousy weather. I mean, we were like in the 30s for that. This is much better. Early October, perfect time for homecoming. So a lot of fun going on out there. You've got about 9 minutes before the basketball event starts down in the rail yard, Canopy Street. They've got the court set up. The men and women are going to have a little three-point shooting contest. That ought to be a blast. And then both teams are going to get introduced to the crowd, and they'll do some autographs and have some fun down there as they're getting closer to their start of their season. Both the men and women, at least, were represented in Chicago for media days earlier this week. Alexis Markowski, Natalie Potts for the women, Bryce Williams, Joanne Gary for the men, with Fred Hoiberg and Amy Williams. So that took place earlier in the week. Lots of stuff just happening, hopping, and going. No soccer at home this week for the Huskers. They do go to Wisconsin for a Sunday match, so just one match for soccer for that. And next volleyball match at the Devaney Center on Sunday, 2 o'clock, the Iowa Hawkeyes will be at the Devaney Center. We'll be on the air with pregame at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. So another Sunday match for Husker volleyball. All right, went long with the big dog in the last segment, but it was all worth it, right? Great stuff, great information. Love his insights, love his stories. So we went long in that segment, so we had to go a little skinny in this one. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now get 1.9% financing on a brand new 2024 F-150 or Super Duty, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets, and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now get 1.9% financing on a brand new 2024 F-150 or Super Duty, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Just a couple of minutes left in hour one of our Friday show. Crypto, I'm with you. We always like to hear from the big dog. And you're going to hear more from him. He'll be back in hour two at our pick segment as we go through this week's picks and see where we come down on all the matchups, including one tonight between Syracuse and UNLV is one of the games that we're going to be picking a little bit later on. John in Omaha on our text line at 402-413-2400 said, I think so much of tomorrow's success relies on us tackling better, getting back to how we used to tackle at the beginning of the season. We need to stop that running back of theirs. He could be the difference in the game. Have a great broadcast. Go Big Red, John in Omaha. Yeah, tackling's always key. I worry more about Rutgers. What they'll want to do is kind of try to wear Nebraska down as the game goes on, where the running game may not be very good in the first quarter, but it's pretty good in the fourth quarter. Think Illinois. That was the problem with Illinois, right? I mean, they got their ground game going in the fourth period. We couldn't get the ball back and get off the field. That worries me. That, and I'll be holding my breath. Every special teams play, every punt, every field goal attempt, because Rutgers is good. They know how to block kicks, so I'll be holding my breath on that one. We'll talk more about some of the specifics of the game coming up next hour here on the program. Thanks to Jeremiah for talking some football on the Sideline Slice. Again, brought to you by our great friends at Valentino's. Next hour, we'll have our Choices Treatment Center picks. We'll talk more Husker football, and hey, we'll talk a little bit about that volleyball match, the sweep last night on the road at Illinois. Come on back. We'll have some fun in hour two.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker Football Spring Game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
Good evening, I'm Josh Hilkeman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services. 6 new members of the Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame were inducted today at a ceremony inside of East Memorial Stadium. Football player Ndamukong Suh, women's basketball player Jordan Hooper, gymnast Emily Wong, tennis player Mary Weatherholt, volleyball player Virginia Stair, and track and field athlete Carl Myerscough were the 6 inductees. It's a big day in college football coming up tomorrow, but also a handful of games to note tonight. Houston on the road against TCU. The Cougars up 7-0, 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. In the Big Ten later on tonight, Michigan State is on the road against number 6 Oregon. That's an 8 o'clock kick, and also an 8 o'clock start and top 25 action between 25th ranked UNLV and Syracuse. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Dillon goes shotgun. In motion, Banks back. Back to throw is Dillon. Has some time. Seth throws to the back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Nebraska. He finds Jamal Banks for 6 points. Huskers have the lead in West Lafayette. 2nd and 6. Under center's Dillon. Barney rotates. Gets the handoff in the jet motion to 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ja'Cory Barney around the left edge. And Nebraska scores on the 3rd straight possession and lead it 20-3.
To the right side, Famuina, great up by Lexi Rodriguez. Huskers own it, bump over to the left. Harper over the triple block, in. Cross corner in. Sharp angle, she avoided 6 hands. We're tied at 18 in Lincoln, and they love it. Back right, past Kate Riley. The set behind, Anna Dotson tip, block back. Chase down, Huskers win. 25-22. Set for Andy Jackson. The finishing touches.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Yeah, we're back. Hour number 2. Going to have our pick segment coming up here in a few minutes. Looking forward to that. Jessica, Jeremiah, and Josh and I will, and the students. I can't forget the students. In fact, they've been leading the pack. Will that continue? We will find out coming up here in just a little bit. Huskers and Scarlet Knights tomorrow, 3 o'clock kick, 11 o'clock for pregame coverage here on the Huskers Radio Network tomorrow with Husker Game Day. Ben McLaughlin, Damon Benning will have the first 2 hours of our pregame show tomorrow. I've been saying it all week. I think this is just a giant game. There are certain games during this season that you're like, man, this season could go one way or another. And to me, this is a bit of a crossroads game for Nebraska. Losing the Illinois game, you don't want to drop 2 in a row at home. Need to protect home turf. Need to get ahead of the game because 3 of the next 4 are on the road. In fact, 4 of the last 6 are on the road. So I just think this is a giant game tomorrow. Rutgers, I'm sure, is thinking the same thing. They've got a 4-0 start. They are on the knocking on the door being a ranked football team. I think they're going to be excited to play this game tomorrow. 2 teams that love to be physical, that like to try to run the football. So should be pretty interesting. As I look at some of the statistical numbers of this game, Rutgers is 12th in the country running the ball, 237 yards a game. Nebraska defensively, 15th defending the run, only giving up 85. So something's got to give. You got 2 top 15 teams in those respective categories, one running the ball, one defending the run. Now, the Huskers, under Tony White, the last year plus, have proven really difficult to run the ball against. And I think that'll be the case tomorrow in a lot of ways. I do worry late in the game, kind of that wear down factor that could happen late in the game. I think that might play into it a little bit, where Munungai gets stronger as the game goes along. So does Caleb Brown, the other big back for them. But got to take care of the football. Nebraska's done a very good job with that and can't get penalized like Nebraska has been. And Matt Rule mentioned that the other day about where Nebraska is penalty-wise, and they're 106th in the country in penalties. That's kind of taken over the turnover bug in a lot of ways for Nebraska. Is we're not turning the ball over, but my gosh, we're committing a bunch of penalties. We've got to clean that up tomorrow. Dennis on our text line say, would you say that inside the red zone that points is a must and no penalties and don't turn the ball over? Yeah, absolutely. You get down there, you got to score. And that was the problem last week in the first half with Purdue. We got down there, but we couldn't make a kick. So we couldn't get points. And then we had the bogus call on Thomas Fedoni on the rub route where he didn't even touch the kid that took a touchdown off the board. So you just got to tighten things up. You know, last week we also had a couple of those false start penalties when we got down near the red zone. So it turned to 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 into 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7. Can't do that. Have got to clean that part up going into tomorrow's game. So I think this is close. How will the heat affect the game? I don't know. Nebraska's sideline will probably be in the shade most of the game. I don't know that it's going to affect Nebraska. I don't think it's been near this warm in Piscataway. But it's still, you know, we're still late summer, early spring, so it's not like teams have been practicing in 30-degree weather moving forward. So I don't know what the weather. We'll certainly keep an eye on it. Jessica certainly will keep an eye on that from her sideline reports moving through tomorrow's game as well. All right, a little tuck on volleyball. Huskers went to Champaign last night, first road conference matchup of the year, and keep on trucking. A sweep of the Illini, who are not quite as good as they've been under Coach Thomas. They have stepped back a little bit. In fact, they went into last night 0-2 in the Lake. They're now 0-3. And the Huskers didn't just completely dominate, but none of the sets were all that close where you came down to a 2 or 3 point set. So I thought it was a really solid road effort, very businesslike. No Andy Jackson, held out with an injury. So Taylor Landfair got a lot of swings on the outside. Layla Blackwell got to play a lot of middle last night. She has not played a ton, along with Rebecca Alec. So I think that's good. I think it was kind of good to get some different faces in there and get Taylor and Layla a little bit of playing time, because it's been kind of sporadic for those two, those transfers, one from Minnesota, the other from San Diego. So I thought that was good. Now we play Iowa, and Iowa's won a couple Big Ten matches, making a little bit of improvement, but still this is a match Sunday at the Devaney Center where Nebraska will be huge favorites in this. It's really more late October, November, where Nebraska is going to get tested pretty good with league matches. Matches at Wisconsin, traveling to the West Coast for a couple of matches with Oregon and Washington. It'll be a little more challenging than maybe what they're going to be facing here in the coming weeks. But John Cook will say, don't forget all that. This is the Big Ten Conference. You got to be ready to play night in and night out. And he's not wrong. I mean, that's pretty accurate. You have to be ready to play. But I thought it was a really solid outing last night for the Big Red as they took care of Illinois. Straight sets win and keep on moving and playing great volleyball. And different people are stepping up every night. Lexi continues to play stellar from her libero position. The serving was really good last night. In fact, one of the maybe big differences in the match was service errors. Illinois at one point had 11 or 12. Nebraska didn't have any. That was late third set. I don't know if it ended that way, but it's a really good, solid serving match for Nebraska. And they forced Illinois to make some mistakes. And I think because the way Nebraska plays defense and passes, you have to be very aggressive with your serve. And that forces you into mistakes. So just a really good effort last night by John Cook's squad last night on the road. And now they're getting ready to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes moving forward into the next match. Got a question from Vernon Loomis. Says, why doesn't volleyball have a rule allowing players to play fewer matches and retain their red shirt like the football team does? Good question. Football's such a physical sport. Basketball doesn't have it either, Vern, by the way. You play once, you're done. So but basketball, volleyball are the same. You step foot on the court and you're done. I wish they would go to something like that to preserve it. There's even been some coaches that say, why don't we just give these young student athletes 5 years of eligibility? And then if you only play them a couple of matches, they're good. But I will say the difference in physicality between football and other sports is dramatic. It just is. It's so much more physical sport. So I love the fact that football has it. I'd like to see something similar implemented in the other sports, but it's not there right now. But I don't know. I think volleyball, basketball coaches would love it to be installed. That or give them a 5th year. So that if year one you're there and you only get to play a handful of matches, you still have 4 to go. But you got a chance to get on the court, get your feet wet a little bit, learn about your teammates, learn what it's like to play with a crowd around you. There's your answer, Vern. And really, football has only gone to it, the last 7-8 years. Great decision to do that. But we're past that point this year. Last week was Game 5 for the Huskers, Game 6 tomorrow. So we've got some true freshmen, Corey Barney being one of those, Dylan Raiola being another one, that have now played 5 games. So their redshirt possibility is gone. It's not going to have Carter Nelson. It's another one that has played in 5 games. So there's no way for Carter to be able to redshirt moving forward for the Huskers as well. So coaches talk about this all the time. I know they have meetings every week. Matt Rural and the staff does about, all right, who do we want to play this week? And how does that affect their long-term clock? And could we play somebody this week that won't affect their like Riley Van Poppel, who's going to redshirt this year. Riley could still play in 4 games and save the redshirt, spread him out, get him spaced out from the Ty Robinson, Nash Hutmaker era of football, and keep that redshirt year. So could tomorrow, with the big physical offensive line of Rutgers, be a game that Riley plays? Perhaps. I've not heard the coaches mention that this week, but perhaps that could be the case moving into tomorrow. We'll certainly keep our eye on all that tomorrow here on the program. All right, coming up this hour, our pick segment, and then Josh and I, at the end of the hour, will have our winners and losers from the week, as well as Sports Nightly rolls right along here on a Friday night.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play, knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Imagine a world where your office IT runs smoothly, securely, and effortlessly. A day where you aren't worried about the next outage or password compromise. At Hamilton, we take care of everything from monitoring and maintenance to security and support. We partner with your business to design integrated technology solutions that fit your needs now and your goals for the future. With on-site and remote IT support options, we're always just a call or click away. Elevate your IT with Hamilton Managed IT. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Drives us, Sid Dillon.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer. St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back. We are inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. How is everyone? Looking forward to making picks. We good?
Yes. Yeah, we are. You have some random games on this with a lot of teams that still cannot figure out. So this should be an interesting round table between all of us. Last week we were all pretty much the same on a lot of them. We had a lot of the same picks. So maybe this week we'll get a little bit more cuckoo.
Can't make it easy on you, Jeremiah.
No, I mean, I'm struggling, Greg. I will admit, my last pick was done from 8,000 feet. I didn't get a ton of research, so I don't know how well I did last week.
You actually had a good week. The problem is everybody else had better weeks.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We're calling. Hey, everyone loves a comeback story.
Well, let's see what we did last week. Let's start Rutgers, who's the opponent for the Huskers tomorrow. Washington visited Piscataway. Jesh, you were the only one that took the Huskies, and really statistically they won the game. But they didn't do some of the other things right. Rutgers does get the win, but that wasn't a bad pick on your part. It was a close game.
Yeah, I think I was the last to pick, and everybody else had gone Rutgers. I'm like, well, let's just flip a coin here, and thought maybe I could steal a point from you guys. But what a weird game, and Washington's also been one of those teams. Like, what are they? You said that last week. What are they? And so I know they're one of those teams now. I feel like you're going to keep throwing them at us because they're a hard team to pick.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting every week.
That's right. Indiana has all of a sudden become a football power. We all win Indiana, and they win by 2 touchdowns over Maryland. So, yay, team, we all got that right. We all took Kansas State to bounce back from a miserable performance at BYU, and the Cats throttle Oklahoma State All 5 of us went with K-State, so we got that right. All 5 went BYU. This surprised me a little bit because Bader was favored in this game, but BYU goes on the road and beats the Bears. So we got it all right. We all went with the underdog and got it right. That's a little rare, right, for all of us to pick the underdog and get it right.
I was just worried about, after that emotional loss to CU, how they were going to bounce back, and it seemed like they had still a little bit of a hangover. Baylor did.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly right. Notre Dame, Louisville, pretty close game. The Irish win. We all picked the Irish. Georgia, Alabama. Now, Jeremiah, you went Georgia. This was a remarkable game because the Crimson Tide were throttling the Dogs. And then you look up at the fourth quarter, Georgia has the lead. Unbelievable. Bama does rally to win, but, man, that was a crazy football game.
That 17-year-old freshman receiver is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I went back and looked at pictures of myself when I was 17. I was like, just fat, pudgy, no arm talent. Like, you just look like a child, and he's out there looking like a man. Him and that other true freshman from Ohio State may be the best receivers in the country as 17 and 18-year-olds.
Quite a college football game.
Yes.
Really was.
Yeah, and it just, tale of two halves. You're thinking, oh, my goodness, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, here comes Georgia, and you can't, I mean, I even though Alabama was dominating, you just never count out Georgia to be able to fight their way back just with that talent. And there they did. They made it a game, and, oh, boy, if they match up again, I expect to see more fireworks from those two teams.
All right, Arkansas and A&M. They played this game neutral site in Dallas. Josh, you went Arkansas. The Razorbacks have been a little bit hard to figure. The A&M Aggies win it, but not a bad pick. Arkansas was kind of right there.
Well, and I thought, I was watching this game early. It seemed like they were up early and they looked good, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't quite keep that momentum. Texas A&M figured it out, but I'm not mad at that pick. I think it was a good chance for me to pick up a point. It just didn't work out.
Oklahoma at Auburn. Jess, you and I and Josh and the students thought that the Sooners could bounce back. Got a little fortunate. A pick 6 late that kind of flipped the score, although it would have been an Auburn win, which Jeremiah did go Auburn.
Yeah, Oklahoma's offense just still has issues. I mean, they just, even though they had the change in the quarterback, I mean, they just, I don't know if they were prepared. The O-line, Searles, is not really equipped to battle some of these SEC teams.
Yeah, they're getting bullied up front. I went back and rewatched that game, and, yeah, Oklahoma's offensive line needs to get some lead in their pencil, or they're in for a long back half of this year.
So, Michigan, Minnesota, we all took the Wolverines. An onside kick that the Big Ten has come back and said that they blew the call would have given the Gophers the football late with a chance to go tie or win the game. So pretty good effort by the Ghosts, but Michigan wins. We all picked the Wolverines, so yay team. We were all 5-0. We all took USC. They were trailing at half to Wisconsin, but dominated the second half. They're starting to howl a little bit up in Madison right now about Luke Fickell in year 2. We all got that right. Our Husker question of the week would last week's game at Purdue be a one-score game? What were you thinking at halftime of that question?
You know what's crazy? As weird as it was, it still felt like Nebraska was in total control. And I thought that they'd come out and figure out a way to put points on the board. So I was not worried, even though I did think about that. When I saw that, I was looking at the scoreboard, I'm like, oh boy, at least we all picked this, if this is how it goes. But I thought they'd get it going in the second half. But I did think about it. I for sure thought about that question.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad about it during the game, and I was like, Nebraska's going to have to just come out and just score every time they have the ball, and they dang near did. And then with the big pick 6 at the end, too, I mean, I was with you, Jess, as I was watching, like, this game is really not a contest. Like, Nebraska's so much better than this team.
Well, we all got it right, so what a week. The students and me, 11-0. How about that? Ooh. Jess and Josh, 10-1. Jeremiah goes 9-2. I guess I made them too easy. Too easy games. Everybody got a great week.
They were all great games, though. I mean, a lot of those were really close. They could have easily flipped either way. I mean, 4 or 5 of those are 2 or 3 plays away from being completely other wins for the other team.
That's exactly right, which is kind of what you want it to be, that kind of close. So the students, after 5 weeks, 41-14, 2-game lead over Jess and myself at 39-16. Josh is 37-18, and Jeremiah's got work to do, 33-22. All right, let's get to this week's picks. Michigan at Washington. This will be the Saturday night game out in Seattle. The Huskies are favored by 2.5. I like them. I think they're back home. Will Rogers, I think, is a pretty good quarterback. Michigan, first time in the year on the road. I think the Wolverines get stoned by Washington. I think the Huskies win and maybe win by 2 scores in this game.
Yeah, listen, one way or another, Washington's going to get me a point. I keep picking them. They don't win, but I think this is the week they're going to get me a point. I'm going to go with them at home. And like you said, still maybe some things to figure out with Michigan. And Washington is, I know they've been a little streaky. Sometimes they look really good, sometimes they don't. But I think they get it done at home.
Yeah, Greg, were you with us in 2010 when we went up to Washington?
Yeah, I was.
That is a hard place to play. Granted, we beat the brakes off of them, but that is a loud stadium. It can get rowdy. I think Michigan's offense is still not very good, so I'm with you guys. I'm with the Huskies.
Okay. Josh?
I'm going to go the other direction. I think this might be a close game, and if it is, I don't trust Washington, especially after what I saw last week. So Michigan, I think, figures out a way to win on the road.
Wow. Okay, Josh, the students are with you, so we got a 3-2 split on that one. I love that. That's great. By the way, these are our Choices Treatment Center picks of the week. USC at Minnesota. So the Trojans go to Ann Arbor, come back home to L.A. Now they're into Minneapolis just to take on the Gophers, who played much better last week, even though they lost to Michigan. How about this game?
I'm still going to say USC. I mean, boy, in the first half, it took them in the second half to really get going against Wisconsin last week. But I still think the defense is better. Obviously, they're going to score points. So I still am going to go with USC.
This is a tough one for me. This is one of the tougher ones of the week because I want to take Minnesota because watching that first half of the Wisconsin game, they were getting beat up front. And Minnesota's offensive line, it likes to get after guys and make the game boring, but I just can't go against that quarterback for USC and the way they go. So I'll go with the Trojans as well.
Yeah, if you look at the stats, Minnesota just can't run the ball this season, which is weird for them, a PJ Fleck team. So I could see them keeping it close and covering the spread like they did last week, but I have to go USC too.
Students are also SC, so 5 across the board all for USC. All right, Jeremiah, A&M back home to take on the Missouri Tigers, battle of ranked teams. The Aggies 2.5-point favorites. How do you see this one?
You know, I watched that Vanderbilt game against Missouri last week, and Vandy gave those guys all they could handle going against Missouri, but I like, again, the hostile environment, the away game. That's a tough place to play too. I'm going to go with the Gig'ems.
Okay. Josh?
Well, I've been wrong every time I pick a game that involves A&M, so I don't know where to go here. I'm going to go with Missouri. It's more just a bad taste in my mouth about Texas A&M than anything.
All right. The students are A&M. I'm A&M as well. I think it's going to be a hot day again down there. Missouri on the road for their first big kind of test away from Faurot Field. I think the Aggies will have enough to get it done. Give me A&M in a close game on Saturday.
I went back and forth, and I'm with Josh. It's hard for me to pick Texas A&M. I don't like them, but Missouri has, for as high rated as they've been and as much praise as they got, they just have not looked very good. So I think I really wanted to do it, but I think I'm going to go with Texas A&M.
All right. Josh, will come to you. SMU, coming off of shellacking of Florida State, goes to Louisville, who lost to Notre Dame last week. Cardinals a 7-point favorite. How about this matchup?
Yeah, Louisville, like you said, they gave Notre Dame a good fight last week. And SMU on the other side, they can put up points. So it makes me a little bit worried about my pick here, but I think Louisville can outscore them, so I'll go Cardinals.
Students are with the Cardinals. I am as well. I think being back home will be the difference for them. And for SMU on the road, enough to slow their offense down, so I'll go Louisville as well.
Not so fast. Ooh. I think their offense continues to roll even on the road, so give me the high-powered offense and the Mustangs.
The Ponies.
Hey, I'm in your camp, Jess. I like what SMU's doing down there. I like the way they do things, so yeah, I'm with the Ponies as well.
Fantastic. All right, go to the SEC. Ole Miss at South Carolina. Ole Miss got beat by Kentucky last week. 9-point favorites on the road. The students say that's not a problem at all. The students go Ole Miss. I'm with them. I think they bounce back. I don't know if they cover the 9, but I do think Ole Miss wins on the road.
Yeah, had Ole Miss won last week, I might have gone South Carolina this week, but being that they're going to probably be hungry to get back in the win column, I think Ole Miss bounces back. And I think South Carolina's coming off a bye week, maybe a little bit slow to start, and against an Ole Miss offense like that, I don't know. So as good as South Carolina's defense has been, I don't think they're good enough to slow down Ole Miss.
We're going to find out a lot about what this Ole Miss football team is all about this week. You know, they get punched in the face. I think they were feeling their oats a little bit, getting some national love. Oh, can they challenge Bama? Can they challenge Georgia? They got just punched in the mouth. I think that they bounce back in a big way, and they're going to look for a statement win here. I think they cover.
Yeah, that was exactly my thinking, Jeremiah. Is it's either going to be a big bounce back or it's going to be a turning point the other way of them just kind of starting to fall apart a little bit. I see the bounce back as well, though. I'll go Ole Miss.
Students are also in the Ole Miss category as well. All right, West Virginia at Oklahoma State. The Cowboys, after getting pummeled by K-State last week, West Virginia off of a bye, beat Kansas in their previous game. Cowboys favored by 3. I'm having a hard time figuring out Oklahoma State. I'm going to pick the Pokes at home. I don't love this pick, but I'll go Oklahoma State.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago I picked West Virginia over Kansas, and as less West Virginia won that game as Kansas gave it to them. I am with you. What the heck is Oklahoma State? They got arguably the best running back in the country, but they just offense has been just brutal. But West Virginia's rush defense is apparently not very good, so I think OSU is going to be able to get things going on the ground, and I think they find a way to bounce back at home.
Yeah, this is a coin flip game in my opinion, too. And easy with the best running back. That Boise State running back is absolutely incredible. I think he's the best running back in college football.
Going into the season, arguably, he was considered one of the best.
I like
He has
that.
not run the ball well since, but
I'm with you, Jess. Go Pokes.
Yeah, I'm with Oklahoma State as well. I'll give the edge to the home team here.
Okay, students go Oklahoma State as well. All right, Jess, we'll go to Kansas, a team that's baffling all of us. They go out to the desert to take on Arizona State. The Sun Devils, who've gotten off to a better start than most people thought. They're favored by 2.5. How about Kansas, Arizona State?
yeah, what the heck is Kansas? I mean, they've got the quarterback that we all love, Jalen Daniels, but just has been a weird season for them. But I still think they have a little bit more talent there. I think Arizona State's still like, oh man, we're kind of good. How do we handle this? I don't know. So I think I'm going to go with the Jayhawks. I went back and forth in this one, but I think Kansas will find a way to win.
I don't love this game at all, and I can't. Kansas has not shown to me they can put a complete football game together. I'm going to go with the Sun Devils. Give me the Sun Devils out in the desert to just wear those guys out.
Yeah, I think the trends continue for both of these teams. Trend upward for Arizona State, trend downward for Kansas. I'm going to go with the Sun Devils, too.
Students are with that as well, and I like that, Josh. I like the trends part of it. One team is having a better year than the other. Give me ASU, and I think the heat could be a bit of a factor, even though it's that dry heat, right? We get told that all the time. It's a dry heat. Oh, well,
still
whatever.
110.
Yeah, still 110.
So I'm swimming upstream on that one.
You are. Like it. All right, Jeremiah, Texas Tech, they've been hard to figure as well. At Arizona, I like Arizona's quarterback a lot. The Cats favored by 6 in this one.
Yeah, Texas Tech is completely hit or completely miss and nowhere in between. So I think Arizona is more of the complete football team when you look around it. So I'll go with the Wildcats. I'm all in on Arizona this week.
Yeah, I'm never picking Texas Tech again after I went them early in the season. That was the worst pick I've had so far. So, yeah, I'm going Arizona too.
Students go Arizona. I'll stay with the Cats again. Like I said, I love their quarterback. I think they got something going down there. Give me ASU. Give me U of A.
Yeah, I'm also with Arizona. This is like
Come on,
Greg.
swim upstream.
What?
Come on, swim upstream.
No,
you know you want them Red Raiders.
One of those a week, but this is like the week of the streaky teams picks. Like it's almost like you went there like, okay, what teams do we not know anything about, and let's figure out, because they've been so hit or miss week to week. And I know Texas Tech is one of those. So, but I got Arizona.
All right, so clean sweep for everybody with Arizona. All right, Syracuse at UNLV. This is the game tonight, Friday night game. Vegas quarterback bails on him a week ago. It didn't matter. The backup quarterback played great last week. They're ranked, undefeated. Syracuse having to travel clear across the country for this matchup. The Rebels, a 6.5-point favorite. I don't remember who I left off with. Whose turn is it up first?
I believe it's Josh's. I think I went first last time.
Yeah, the Rebels, like you said, Greg, they didn't slow down at all after Matthew Sluka left. In fact, they may have looked better as an offense overall. I think they look like a team that could be one of the top 2 or 3 of the group of 5 to grab that playoff slot. So I'm going to go with them here until they slow down. I got to go with the Rebels.
Students are with you. I'm with you as well. I just like what they're doing right now. I think they've got Barry Odom, who didn't succeed as the head coach of Missouri, doing a really good job at Vegas. Give me Vegas.
I'm with you. Running Rebels.
Yeah, house always wins in Vegas. Give me UNLV.
Love it. Good stuff. All right, we'll finish with Navy at Air Force, one of the military battles of the year. Navy, a 10-point favorite. The students say midshipmen get it done on the road at Air Force. I'm with them. I think Navy wears down Air Force and gets a road win.
I got Navy, too.
Yeah, I mean, Air Force I watched a couple weeks ago, if they fall behind at all, they're toast. Like, they have no way of coming back. So I think Navy gets on them all quickly. And, I mean, it's going to be a great game. Those atmospheres are always great, but I like the midshipmen as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched either of these teams play, but given the records and the numbers that I did look at, it seems like Navy's the safe pick here.
All right. Now, our Husker question of the week. Rutgers does a really good job of protecting the football. So our Husker question of the week, does Nebraska force a turnover? I'm going to say no. I think Nebraska's going to have to win this game straight up. They can win it, and they can win it without forcing a turnover, but I think Rutgers takes care of the ball. I don't think Nebraska forces a turnover, but still gets the win.
I'm going to go on the other side. I think they do. I don't know what it will be. I don't know if it'll be an interception or a forced fumble, which they've been, I know, really harping on, but I think they'll find a way to get another one on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm with you, Jess. I think this is the game where a Cam Lenhart or Jamari Butler strip sack happens. I think those guys have been really close. You get Ty and Nash pushing the middle. That quarterback can't step up in the pocket. And one of those guys comes around. They've got good tackle and Holland Pierce over there for Rutgers. But I think this is the game where you see that quarterback go to reach his arm back, and it gets knocked out, and we create that turnover in a short field for our defense.
Love it. All right, Josh?
I like that vision. Because, like you said, Greg, Kaliak Manis he's not a guy that's going to throw a lot of interceptions, so it's probably going to have to be something like that. But I can definitely see a forced fumble on the quarterback working for the Huskers. I'll go yes, they do force a turnover.
And Camden, since you're here, you can pick for the students.
What do you got? He says yes.
All right, I'm the only one swimming upstream. All right.
The Husker questions are one where if you get it wrong, you're okay with it. You wouldn't be mad if you get it wrong.
Exactly.
Well, I think Greg would be mad if you got this one wrong. Or he wouldn't be mad. I'm saying I would be mad if I got this one wrong. Excuse me. Greg would be happy. Like, oh, he can talk about a Big Mac sack and a turnover.
Right. Exactly.
There's no Big Mac sacks this year, Searles. Don't give people false hope.
Gosh, dang it.
No more Big Macs. It's a shame.
I like Big Macs. I'll still eat them.
Big Dog, always good to have you with us.
Absolutely, guys. Have a great call. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be a fun one.
Need the crowd to be loud for this game on Saturday afternoon. Choices Treatment Center, they are the sponsor of our pick segment. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Just call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. For more information, they have offices located in Lincoln and Columbus. Back with more Sports Nightly coming up next.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house online and owning it, between imagining living there and breathing in your new home for the first time. Having an advocate who can help you navigate the complex world of financing, inspections, negotiating, analyzing the market, and talking through any anxieties that may pop up, that can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and bound by a code of ethics, because that's who we are.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty you get.
Call 402-391-2336.
Is your phone system holding you back? We know how important smooth, reliable communication is for your success. Whether your team is working from the office or on the go, you need a phone system that keeps up with your busy day. At Hamilton, we offer business phone systems that adapt to your needs, making every call clear and every connection simple. Upgrade to a Hamilton business phone system where advanced features meet unmatched reliability. Are you ready to transform how you communicate? Better phones, better business. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Our Akrs Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Final few minutes of our Friday show. Again, our pregame coverage tomorrow begins at 11 with kickoff at 3 o'clock. Damon Benning, Ben McLaughlin will get you going with Husker Game Day tomorrow, and then I'll jump on with Ken at a kickoff around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to the game. Going to be hot. You're still talking about 90-degree temperatures for this game tomorrow. So unusual, early October, to have temperatures in that level. They have a really nice night tonight for the basketball event. I've seen some pictures on social media, on X and some of those type of things. Looked great. Temperature about 70, light wind. So nice little fun night. And creative, doing it outside, put a court down on the street, let the teams get introduced to the crowd. I think it's a cool deal. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit. That should be fun. We have Big Ten football at the top of the hour. Oregon hosting Michigan State. A little Friday night Big Ten clash. And a full slate of games tomorrow. Some pretty interesting games, I think, in the league. You got, I think USC Minnesota's got a chance to be a sneaky good game. Michigan, Washington, replay of the national championship game from last year. How about that? But two teams that are nowhere close to what they were a year ago. So that'll be the primetime game tomorrow night on NBC. Iowa goes to the Horseshoe to take on Ohio State. I don't think the Buckeyes have a ton of issues tomorrow, but Iowa plays good defense. Maybe they'll make them punt a few times, something that really Ohio State's not had to do too much of so far this year. So, as always, interesting games around college football. Of course, Matt Coody will be keeping track of it throughout the day with our Nebraska Lottery scoreboard. Just saw on volleyball, Penn State sweep Oregon. Penn State ranked in the top 5. Oregon ranked 11th. That was in Happy Valley. So Penn State got a nice sweep of a really good quality team in Oregon. Oregon had to play last night in Columbus against Ohio State. They swept the Buckeyes, and then they flew to Penn State, got swept by the Nittany Lions tonight. So Huskers back on the court on Sunday. The Iowa Hawkeyes will be the matchup 2 o'clock with the pregame coverage beginning at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So looking forward to another big weekend of Husker sports. Next week, no football game with a bye week, so no coaches radio show for football next week. So a little bit more of Sports Nightly headed your way next week. There is a volleyball match on Friday night that'll bump out most of our show next Friday, but we will have John Cook back in studio next week as well as he gets back into his weekly radio shows. Didn't have one this week because they traveled on Wednesday, played on Thursday, but we will get Coach back tomorrow night or next week for his coach's show. Mentioned Huskers and Rutgers in Nebraska. This will be the 7th all-time meeting tomorrow. Nebraska leads the all-time series 6-0. We haven't played in Lincoln, though, since 2017. The last 2 matchups have been in Piscataway, both by Nebraska. One of them was the COVID year game that took place right before Christmas. It was exactly a week out of Christmas. On the 18th of December, Nebraska won that game 28-21 and then beat them 14-13. Mickey Joseph got the win in that game a couple years ago in 2022. So back in Lincoln, first time in 7 years tomorrow night for the Cornhuskers and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. All right, need to slip a break in. When we come back, Josh and I are going to have some winners and losers for the week. We'll do that next.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Now get 1.9% financing on a brand new 2024 F-150 or Super Duty, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Cyber threats are everywhere. When is the last time you stopped to think about how you're protecting your business from potential data breaches, phishing scams, or ransomware? It's time to make cybersecurity a priority for your business. At Hamilton, our unmatched expertise and cutting-edge technology goes beyond basic defense, providing proactive, tailored solutions that keep your data, network, and digital assets protected. Better protection, better cybersecurity with Hamilton. Visit our website at hamiltonisbusiness.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Preparation is the key to success on game day.
And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Folks, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. On a few minutes of our show, we let Jessica slip out of here after we did picks. She did a long day, did a couple things with the Hall of Fame today, so we let her get out of here and get her Friday night underway, and then back with a busy day tomorrow with our Husker football countdown. So it's just Josh and I for the winners and losers. By the way, Josh, I know you and I are both huge baseball fans. What an unbelievable ninth inning last night in Milwaukee. I felt bad for the Brewers. I mean, 2 outs away from winning the series, and then Alonso goes oppo for the 3-run shot, and the Mets claim the victory. My goodness, that was – and I thought the baseball most of the week was really pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. It was. I was a little bit bummed yesterday that there weren't more Game 3s, but it was of the baseball that was played. All the games were good, tight baseball games for the most part. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's been a good summer for baseball. Their attendance was up for the first time in almost a decade. Their viewership of games was up. The playoffs have gotten off to a good start, and so I think there was over 4 million viewers for that Game 3 between the Mets and the Brewers, and it helps when you have a New York team. I get that. I understand you have the biggest population city. It certainly helps with that. But love baseball. Gets going again tomorrow. Big Royals fan, as a lot of people know, so they get the Yankees tomorrow night. In fact, they'll first pitch before we get done with our Rutgers game tomorrow late afternoon. All right, Josh, it's up to you and me for winners and losers. What do you have?
Well, I'm going to start with baseball for my winner. I'm going to go with the American League Central. 3 of the 4 teams left in the American League playoffs are from the AL Central. Now, it hurts my heart to say that because as a Twins fan, we didn't make it. We had a terrible collapse down the stretch, but pretty cool to see the American League Central representing after so many years of not being very good. Usually just one team getting in with a not very good record. So pretty cool to see that. And then my loser, I'm going to go again with it kind of hurts my team and you, but Rashee Rice going down with the injury this last week. And then, I don't know if you saw this, but his mom got into some legal trouble with basically stealing it off of somebody else's porch. So not a good week for him and not a great week for the Chiefs, or being a Chiefs fan at least. So,
man, injuries are just piling up for that organization. One thing on the baseball, those 3 AL Central still left.
Yes.
3 of the 4 are from the Central. So not only did they get 3 in, but they all, the Tigers and the Royals both win the wild card rounds and move on. All right, my winner's Levante David, just keeps trucking along. Had a pick last night. Should have sealed it for the Bucks. They missed a obvious face mask penalty on Atlanta in an ensuing play that would have ended the game. But, man, that guy keeps playing great football, high level. So proud of Levante and what he has done in the NFL with his amazing career. And, Josh, my losers, Big Ten football officials had to go and kind of eat some goat on how they handled the onside kick last week.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't feel like you ever see anything them go that far with basically saying we screwed up and we're gonna do something to try to fix it, even though it didn't help the Gophers out at all.
Yeah, could have been interesting if that thing would have stood. What would have happened? We will never know. Great stuff. Thanks, Josh, for working on all of this for us tonight. Thank you all for listening. We're back with a full day of broadcast tomorrow. Begins at 11 a.m. with Husker Game Day. Enjoy your Friday night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops,
and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.